please remember that this series comes with a parental guidance warning. There are instances of violence, extreme gore, sexual situations, and then just moments that can be very counted as just intense dealing with interactions between men and women. So if any of these things could be triggering, please remember we have other series that don't have such a hard parental guidance warning in the beginning. And dear listeners, you do realize with that parental guidance warning, it is time for our favorite, fleshy amusement park. Yes, we are. It's that time again. It is time for the happiest place in Earth, utilizing the Mystery Meat Pit Cipher System edition. And oh boy, in our last session, we wound up at a gas station just outside of town, and some very peculiar things started to happen at this gas station outside of town. We met the peculiar members who work there, and some of the local fauna that will frequent the said gas station outside of town. Thankfully, the players were able to make it through the night, and well, there was actually a one of those emergency services that they'll have driving on the freeway. They were able to come by and get the RV equipped with some new tires. Granted, it cost Armstrong a fucking arm and a leg, but that's just the way of capitalism, dear people. And it's been an interesting one because, you guys have dragged out Nathaniel's dead body with the brains all scooped out, and, well, after Riley and Armstrong finally calmed down and stopped screaming in panic of like, oh God, like we wanted the kid dead, but this is a big fuck up. They draped over Nathaniel's body with a sheet, and granted, while Armstrong was getting on the phone to call Alkenfell, the drive to the vacation home was actually quite a long drive. It's now approaching back on the evening time because of how long it took to do the repairs for the RV, because the axle actually got quite fucked up as well. Actually, I think it would possibly be Moonlight, maybe, because Moonlight, you were going around and Cliff, and thankfully you guys have told Bruno that his big ass, regardless if Scruffy's normalcy field kicks in, he's got to stay on the roof. So he's strapped up on the roof of the RV. Granted, he's actually having a good time. But for you, you're walking back, and roll me a d20 real quick. This is going to be a difficulty roll 3, so you just got to beat a 9.
I got a 3.
Okay, everything seems fine. Just your attention isn't on the body underneath the sheet, that some suspicious crunching and cracking is coming from underneath, and somehow, some way, the gut portion of where
I
Nathaniel...
thought he was just having post-mortem farting.
Oh,
just
no,
shitting
no.
himself.
I mean, there was a point where everyone just had to suffer as they heard just sound like a fucking leaking balloon of just coming from Nathaniel, and Riley's just, oh God.
I jumped out the window and I locked Riley in. Bye, honey.
And granted, everyone is busy and distracted with their own respective things, and, well, Moonlight, after all this sound, and then what you're preparing yourself for another bombardment of just post-death Nathan farts. But when you look back at the sheet, there's no body there.
Oh. Huh. I wonder if Maury took it. Hey, that's a foul question for Moonlight. It's like, when things go disappearing in the dark, it's either Riley or Maury. That's it.
Plead the fifth.
And then you hear, which everyone else in the RV will hear at this moment, you just hear what... It sounds like what sounds like a very pathetic Yorkie howling at the moon. It's just a, ow, 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 ow. Do you follow the sad, pathetic howling, Moonlight?
If it sounds like an animal in pain, absolutely I'm going to go see the animal.
So you follow behind the howling, and all the little mogwais are just like, and you're just too distracted to listen. So unfortunately, I can't tell you what they're saying. And as you follow back to the master bedroom of the RV, you see ripping and tearing up the bed is. Okay, so we're going to take Nathan, but then I want you to double his girth and then cover him in very splotchy fur that just looks like a sad, pathetic Yorkie. And then he has like Yorkie wolf head, but the thing is, he is so bulbous and fat that his little stubby legs can't move him, so he looks like one of those sad, fat, like old basset hounds.
How? How did you fit through the door?
You notice the door is like broken.
You need a sweatband and a treadmill. God damn! Oh. Question. Do I recognize this Yorkie? Thing goblin.
Roll me another difficulty 3 real quick. He's got to beat a 9.
I got a 7.
He smells familiar. You notice a smelly smell that smells smelly. Kind of reminds you like Nathan.
Okay, so I just cover my nose and I suck at it. Okay, I don't know what the fuck you are, but you need bath. So I'm gonna grab him by the little paws and try to drag his fat ass out.
All right, give me another difficulty 3. This is for muscle.
I got an 11 this time.
Okay, you're perfectly dragging this bulbous, gargantuan fucking werewolf, and you just hear an occasional, like, just what just sounds like a very silent but deadly dog fart, just a.
Thank God I can hold my breath for a long period of time.
And because you got so good on your roll, when you go to bathe this gargantuan, girthy-looking Yorkie, you don't realize it's a werewolf. You come to realize that his fur looks so splotchy just because of all the grease, as if this was someone's hair that's never been fucking washed.
You know what? Because when it comes to bathing animals, I have no problem taking my clothes off. But on this occasion, I'm gonna wear a goddamn hazmat suit.
By the time you get done bathing this gargantuan, girthy Yorkie, you give him a haircut like I posted in the chat.
My God. My God.
He just looks in the strange, girthy dog looks in the mirror and is just. And you get if you could speak wolf or dog or whatever the fuck it is, you would get the notion that he's just crying, saying, "My pheromones."
You know what? I give him a pat on the head. It's like, who wants to treat? Who wants to treat?
He immediately just goes back to like weird dog wolf mode and just. It's just like slowly following behind you, just. He's too large to try to jump up on you. Every time he does, it's just a sad little hop, just a.
Well, if he's trying to jump up on me, I'm gonna smack him. I was like, no jumpies. No jumpies and no humpies. Oh, no treats.
As you say the no humpies, he's just on the back of one of the mogwais, and he's just. The mogwai's just. Ah!
I pull the mogwai out and I just throw him across the room. I said, no humpies. No humpies. Now you don't get treats. You're gonna get a treadmill.
And this is so. Hold on, let me think real quick. I think because Scruffy would most likely be fucking sweeping or cleaning one of the other bathrooms, so I am actually going to have to give this to.
I was under the impression I was tied to the roof.
Oh no, Scruffy, not you. Bruno his ass has been tied to the roof. You're fine. But so it's going to actually be, yeah, Sticky Joe, you are. Oh my God, that GIF is perfect, Maury, that you posted in the Happiest Place on Earth chat. So, Sticky Joe, when you come out of the bathroom from another liaison with your sexy Mogwai girlfriend, you come out and you see this massive looking dog that has a hairdo like a fucking French poodle. He's so large that his gut tracks up the ground. Sticky Joe, give me a mighty roll of a D20. You gotta beat a 2 as this massive dog goes to jump and hump your leg. Oh, yeah. Then we're just gonna. Oh no! You're. Oh, Sticky Joe, you can actually talk right now because you're in the Discord chat, so you're good. And oh my goodness, how am I spacing on everyone's favorite park guide?
You're Hitsy.
Thank you. You're Etsy. So you're Etsy. You see this massive, girthy looking dog that looks like he's giving Sticky Joe the eye of like, you got a nice leg there, sir, and I wants a hump. And go ahead, give me for you, since you are a very gifted park guide and you are used to tracking and all of that. I'm going to make this only a difficulty 2. So go ahead and roll me a d20. You just got to beat a 6 real quick.
Okay. That is 28.
Okay. You notice immediately from the smell that this is Nathaniel. Nathaniel is alive and well again, and apparently he is a fucking werewolf. But he is the saddest, most pathetic werewolf you have ever seen. Do you let everyone know you're Etsy, or do you keep this to yourself?
Honestly, it doesn't matter to her as long as it stays the fuck away from her.
Yeah, Riley is just immediately just so happy gazing upon this massive fat dog that he's just like, oh my god, he reminds me of the dog that before I was taken from my dad. I love him, and Riley's just hugging on the Nathaniel Wolf, going, who wants some chin scratches? Who wants some chin scratches? And wait, guys, when did we get a dog? And you all hear like a toilet flush from the other second bathroom, from the hallway bathroom, and you see a penguin come out that has those like really long, like blonde looking dreads, but his look like actual real human dreads now. They're about a good like 4 feet in length coming down his back. This penguin now stands at about a good 4'5", and he's holding a newspaper. He looks at all of you and is just, you people are weird. And he walks into the freezer. Okay, Moonlight, how do you react to the penguin?
I'm going to touch it.
Silas, you are extremely quiet.
You guys hear me?
Yes, but your volume is... Hold on, let me turn up your...
Not really, like, at all.
Okay, I had to turn you up a little bit.
I can hear him, but I have my headphones on like maxed out.
Okay, how's this?
There we go. Now you're much better.
Yeah, it's a little better, but it's still quiet.
Yeah, it's really quiet.
Okay. Sorry about this. I'm gonna put myself back on mute till I...
No, you're fine. And Moonlight, you said you wanted to touch the penguin, so I'm actually gonna not let him make it all the way to the freezer when you run over in excitement and you poke him and he's just, hey, not that.
I'm sorry, it's just, I never seen a penguin before. You're so soft.
So all of his eyes just blink at you in unison. And this is when you notice the penguin has 3 eyes. He has one in the middle of his forehead. I mean, I can understand why you've never met a penguin unless, like, you were in certain, like, islands in the very south. But can we, like, hold back on the touching?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I thought you was a regular penguin. I didn't know you could talk.
Well, so things got a little weird because I just remember the really scruffy looking guy that, like has that like thing he pushes on the ground that you humans call, a broom. And I remember him taking me from the SeaWorld. And when he brought me back here, like I was hungry, but I saw this thing that kind of reminded me of like a fish. I thought it was just like some fish guts or whatever. So I ate it. And after I ate it, I got bigger. And now I can think. And apparently I have what is considered vocal cords. And I can actually talk now.
Huh. Oh, that's really neat. Well, welcome to the ship. I hope you have plenty of food. Do penguins need anything besides fish to eat?
Well, when I was a normal penguin, my diet was primarily fish, but now I've had cravings for some interesting things, so I'll be good. You guys have a lot of interesting things inside that freezer.
I mean, as long as you're taken care of and you're not starving and you feel safe, hell yeah. And then I'm gonna go grab a fish and start eating it.
Yeah, you see inside of the freezer, there's a really massive salmon, and you just grab this salmon fillet, and oh yeah, it is some smoked salmon you are enjoying. And so Pingu just looks at you and goes, "So you can call me Pingu."
I love that name.
Thank you, and I'll be inside the freezer over here, and I feel like there's still more to this new body I have, and if you need me, just call out for Pingu.
Okay, Pingu. Hey, you enjoy your time. And I'm just gonna respectfully walk away.
He just looks and goes, doot doot, and walks inside the freezer.
I love him.
So Pingu goes away. Silas, as I was saying, this massive, girthy dog thing, wolf thing, you do not know it's a werewolf yet, is just eyeing your leg, and it's just, yeah, he wants to hump that leg. Give me a difficulty 3 dodge roll, so you're just going to need to beat a 9.
12.
Okay, like, somehow,
better?
some way, go right ahead. Describe what you do with what happens.
Well, Sticky Joe knows how to break all animals in. So, as this creature is charging towards Sticky Joe is gonna amazingly jump off of a tree. You know, like the wall jump. Wall jump off a tree. Get behind this creature.
You're still in the RV, so I'll say you jump off the table and you jump off some of the stuff. You end up behind him.
Okay, and then I show it. Who is the alpha male? Sticky Joe, baby.
Oh God, you literally pulling fucking with homeboy from fucking Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
I'm the alpha male.
I mean, from Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. It's just, Riley's just. You were saying Moonlight?
I just said, yep, and then I'm gonna pull a Homer Simpson and walk backwards through something.
You just glide backwards and perfectly just cut a corner into your bunk room, and the door just closes in front of you, and your arm didn't move. You want no part of this. And this is when Riley runs and he grabs like a bottle with water in it, and he just starts squirting both of you like, bad, no, bad Joe, bad.
It burns. It turns out that's a bottle of bleach he's spraying at us.
I knew this was your one weakness. Bad Joe, bad. Go sit in the corner. You do not do that. It's like, this is our new friend. I'm gonna call you Plumpers. The Nathaniel werewolf is just, huh? That's right, Plumpers. Nothing will ever hurt you. You're my best friend. Riley's just
still established dominance.
He just squirts you again. And then he convinces just to give it Nathaniel belly rubs. He's just, oh, look at that smile. Who's a good boy? Yeah. And Armstrong's been on the phone this whole time talking to Alkenfell, and he's just, so, Al, wait, what? Look, well, Scruffy said it was fine, and you gave him the damn keys. What are you talking about? Some kind of mafia summit? Nathaniel's dad's there? Yeah, he's fine. I mean, he's not dead or anything. No, there's no reason why I said that. I'm gonna hang up right now. Click.
You're actually just like, I'm surrounded by idiots.
Riley just looks at you and goes, hey, I'm not that dumb.
It's like a hard stare, like, really?
He just looks at the floor. Oh. And Nathaniel Wolf is now just sleeping, just one of his legs just doing the dog, just running. Oh, he's dreaming. And as you guys have been driving on, you've been getting closer and closer to this. It's definitely not inconspicuous. This is a house that screams like, I bet a lot of murders have happened at this place, and this place is horribly haunted. This is the Hastermart. This is pretty much the Winchester fucking house. This was built by some psychopath that just has hallways that go to nothing. It just goes on, and there's talks of like specters and shadows being seen, and totally not some maybe other like supernatural things have shown up, and it totally not because there's a open hole in the basement leading to the pit. And just as like Armstrong is looking as he's just looking on, it's like a lightning strike just conveniently strikes from behind the building, and it's just wow. I'm sure it's fine. Another lightning strike. Oh, come on! Moonlight, from the room you're in, you just start to hear a very, very faint voice. Just sounds like it's with the wind. You just hear a faint, return the... Does Moonlight focus in on the voice?
Yes, I do.
You focus in more, and you're all up your arms. You just get goosebumps. Oh boy, and your whole body just feels extremely cold. And as you listen, you just hear a, return the slab or suffer my curse. It sounds like it's coming from the window. Do you look out the window?
Against my better judgment, yes, I do.
Oh boy. All right, first of all, go ahead. Give me a difficulty 4 intelligence roll. You need to beat a 12.
I got 12.
You lucky, lucky son of a gun. As you
Yes, boy.
As you look out the window, you see everything is foggy, and even though the RV is moving at about a good 75 miles per hour, this individual standing still, but they're perfectly moving along, so you are still seeing them. And what it looks like is you see the flesh of their body is extremely emaciated and has started turning has a bluish tint because there's no more oxygen pumping in their body, so their blood is just blue, so that gives that bluish tint. And the flesh around the fingers is so emaciated and just dry that the points of the finger have split open, revealing the skeletal fingertips looking like talons. The face is extremely gaunt to where portions of the cheeks have just slit and cracked open, showing these extremely sharp incisors. The entire mouth is made of these type of teeth, and you see 3 rows as they open their mouth as they talk. They have grayish hair that is just in patches on the sides that moves in the wind.
If Scruffy is around, he would show up and immediately slam the curtain shut, and he would say, don't engage with them Blue Man Group people. You talk to them once, they're going to want you to go to a show.
You know what? I am canonically, yeah, that's what happens. Moonlight, you were seeing that, and then Scruffy just fucking closed that curtain.
Don't engage with them. It's the only way to defend yourself against their mystical powers.
Mystical powers?
The Blue Man Group. You ever seen one of them shows? It's haunting.
I don't watch TV.
Oh no, it's a show. You pay in Vegas. It costs too much. You end up going to too many of them. First you watch them slapping their bongos, and next thing you know you're broke and they have everything you ever owned. It's happened to me at least twice.
Huh.
From out in the hallway.
I never heard of a battle tactic like that, so I'm glad you warned me.
From out in the hallway, Riley's just looking at him. Hey, man, you remember to get the Blue Man Group tickets for when we get to Vegas, right? Yeah, of course, Riley.
It's
It's
growing.
happened. I sense it's happening again. This will be 3.
And you get closer and closer, and any onlookers, this becomes like some kind of creepy fucking Scooby-Doo group, because the RV finally gets to this massive home that, as you look, it just has like some crooked looking spires that it's at least about a good 4 or 5 stories tall, and just parts of the taller portions of this building just bend off in unnatural angles. And when you guys exit the RV, I ain't gonna lie, it's like some fucking terrifying version of fucking Scooby-Doo shit, because you got this big ol' fat werewolf looking Yorkie poodle with a poodle haircut. Like, as he exits the RV almost tips over. And then Riley comes out looking like he's dressed like goddamn Shaggy. Armstrong looks like fucking Fred. For some reason, he has an ascot on, and he's just, I feel handsome right now. And his wife's like, honey, where did you get this? I don't know. It was in the closet. I feel right, though. You look like a douche. And then following behind him would be, you know what? I will have Maury be the next one to follow behind. Maury, what are you wearing at this moment as you exit the RV?
Same thing I always wear. I gotta wear my coveralls.
And as you exit out the RV, you're wearing your coveralls, but bizarrely, it looks like you have a fucking cop hat on your head, and even Bob looks like he's dressed as like a backup cop. And following behind this, we have the Mogwais that follow behind the Great Mori, and the best way to describe this is they all look like they're dressed up like fucking Alvin and the Chipmunks. They have the cute little long little gowns and hats. And then following behind that would be Moonlight. Moonlight, how are you dressed as you pop out of the RV?
I am just like a bodybuilder Velma. I got a red skirt, crop top, orange stock and red shoes. Except my hair, I just got in a high ponytail.
Yeah, Riley is just like, as he's looking at you, Nathaniel just does a paw to pick Riley's jaw up off the floor. Thanks, buddy.
I also got, I found some really glasses I thought looked nice, so I was like, yeah, I'll put these on.
And followed behind you, Moonlight, is Bruno, but now things are a little odd because as Bruno jumps off of the roof, he's not his gargantuan self. He's once again the very small looking puppy dog, but he looks like a puppy version of Nathaniel, and sadly now he has that stupid poodle cut. And and he looks and he's just, dear God, what? Wait, I can talk. What the fuck is going on? And he's just like, when I find who's in charge of this, it's gonna be bam, yo, mom spaghetti, get your ass up. And he's just punching in different directions. And then Sticky Joe comes out of the RV. Sticky Joe, how are you dressed?
To leave like 10 minutes ago.
You're right. You're actually right. Well, I'll figure that out. But Scruffy, you come out of the RV. How does Scruffy look?
Where exactly are we right now?
You have now parked at a parking lot in front of the parking spaces in front of this massive looking Winchester inspired mansion.
Then right as I walk out, I am prepared with my maintenance uniform, and I've definitely got my broom with me.
And and then here's a really funny thing too, is that you also, because your maintenance uniform, it now on the back of it says insect extermination. You have a bug poison canister on your back, and you have your exterminator hat on. You have a pair of glasses. And yes, dear listeners, for anyone who's actually old enough to understand what I just described, yes, Scruffy looks like fucking John Goodman from Arachnophobia. I'm showing my age with this one. But so be it. And as you all are out, you look at this massive mansion, and once again, a lightning strike, and Armstrong just like, there isn't even a cloud in the sky. What the hell? But it's odd, though, because there is no Bethany coming out of the RV. There is no Sticky Joe, and there is no female Mogwai, his partner. Those three conspicuously have not come out. And because Moonlight has expressed and shown that she studies different properties of chemicals and bacteria and such, Moonlight, give me a difficulty for intellect roll. You got to beat a 12.
I got 19.
You know that there is something definitely in the air that is affecting everything. This is in the line of the same principles of what was causing all of that weirdness before Sticky Joe showed up, and what Sticky Joe's normalcy field does. But this isn't coming from Sticky Joe. It's coming from the fucking house. Moonlight, do you go up and touch the house?
Do I have any bad vibes from it?
You're getting the idea that because it's coming from the house, this house is a biological entity.
Oh, of course I'm gonna touch it.
When you touch the board, it doesn't feel like wood, like normal wood. You feel it has the rhythmic motion of breathing. And then you look at the front of the house now, and you realize why it's so unsettling and doesn't make sense. there was only 2 fucking windows on the front of the house. Now, as you look closer, this clearly makes what looks like a sleeping face because the blinds are closed on the windows. And you also notice that there are, of course, where the chimney stack is going up on the 5 stories, but there is like another side attachment on the other side of the building that goes into the ground as well. And you can clearly tell those are arms. The hands are buried in the ground.
Guy, I don't think we should go in this place.
Why? What's wrong, Moonlight?
I'm gonna say this as carefully as I can because I don't know if certain things can understand speech. I'm pretty sure that this is gonna be a death trap.
What makes you say that?
I'm gonna lean really close to Riley and whisper in his ears. This goddamn house thing is alive. This is a living entity. It's fucking breathing and it's smelly.
Riley's just looking at the house like with wide eye. Granted, it's not in fear, it's of just like bewilderment. Just, okay, we've encountered a lot of weird things. So the house is, wait, does that mean if we open that door, we're going to see a bunch of organs and stuff?
Maybe? Or maybe like a row of teeth or something?
This
But
is when
either
you
way,
notice
this
that-
is
oh,
we're going inside of an office and I'm pretty sure this thing cannot consent to that.
and Riley turns to the house, and when you turn to look at it as well, this is that the actual mouth is the porch. You can see that the porch makes, because it has these beams that would clearly make up when the porch would split to be like teeth. And
Quick question, is this a type of anglerfish situation?
nope, it's even better.
Is it just a big mimic?
Oh god.
So because so above board, because of your 19 Moonlight, I'm going to show you a little something real quick in the chat, Happiest Place. It's not a mimic. It's the house is just the entity, the biological entity.
Because I know exactly where you're going with this and I don't like it.
And as you are figuring this, as you're just looking at the mouth, the door opens and you see a light coming from inside, and you just see what looks like a red carpet, a nice, very long red carpet that goes on. And it slightly starts to come and roll out from the open door, down the porch, down the steps, landing right in front of you and Riley. And from inside, you don't see any organs. You don't see any of that. You just see a very elaborate opening for a main grand hall for every snooty bougie ass mansion. But one thing you do notice is a gargantuan green looking chandelier that pulsates a light in about 75 little flickers a minute. And Moonlight, because of your 19, you can tell that's definitely the rhythmic flashing of a heartbeat.
Guys, I really don't think we should go in though.
Ruffy's gonna walk up to the door and go, "Why wouldn't we go in there? Ain't nothing wrong with this place. I think I seen it on Airbnb. What year is it? You don't have Airbnb yet?
It's 1990.
Yeah, no Airbnbs.
You might
I think
have
I
like
seen it in the phone book.
I was actually going to say like an advertisement for like you saw a report about like famous homes in a newspaper, just reporting about famous structures and around the country.
Oh, I figured like a home rental.
And oh yes, you go first.
I was just
Okay,
saying that.
okay.
Why not be a home rental and in a
Like
famous,
a
homes or something?
Yeah.
Thank you. Exactly. And as you are saying this, finally coming from down the stairs, there's a gentleman in a very elaborate white and black pinstripe suit. And as he's getting closer to the door and he comes out, Moonlight, you can feel the animosity from Riley raising. Seeing him just tensing up as the individual fully comes out. His hair isn't silver, it's just pure white, and it's about medium length. It goes down to his shoulders. And granted, his eyes, he has a pretty much just a piece of cloth wrapped around his eyes, but you can see from above the cloth and below there's obviously some scarring from what looked like something scratched or ripped out a good portion from there. But he's walking just fine. As he passes by you, Sticky Joe, he acknowledges it and he looks out. Ah, you must be the unexpected guests that we were informed that would be coming. And Riley, what a pleasant surprise.
I am going to keep my hand on Riley's shoulder.
Yeah. You literally hear a tooth crack as Riley's just biting down as hard as possible, just shaking in rage. Oh, Riley, even if I can't see your face, I can still imagine now. Don't worry, we can talk later. For right now, though, I need to welcome you all inside the home and show you where your rooms will be. And we were also informed that a Mr. Nathaniel would be joining you all. His head's just scanning, and he just sniffs, and he just goes, "Oh, how odd. Nathaniel's being more quiet than usual, but I can definitely smell that he's among all of you. Because that, well, sir, even though your father is the head of the Irish Mafia, I will gladly say you need a fucking bath. You're disgusting. The very plump dogs, plumpers, is just, fuck you. Did that dog just tell me, fuck you? Well, fuck you, dog. He walks down the stairs towards you, Moonlight, just gracefully gliding down them even without sight. And, my dear, my name is Inku, and I am a very close friend of Riley. And even without my sight, I can tell you are just radiant.
Moonlight smells at him, is like, oh, I didn't know he had friends outside of the pit. It's lovely to meet you, and I hold out my hand, even though he's blind. It's just out of reaction.
He's actually perfectly he's able to hold your hand and gently bow and kiss the back of your hand. Oh, me and Riley were the best of friends. Him, me, and Kahlua. Weren't we, Riley? Cool. But there'll be time for that later. I would love to welcome you all to the Westminster Hill House. And this is a very famous location. It has quite an amazing past. It was said to have been built by a very famous family that is known to have invented most deadly guns during the 1800s. And from their vast guilt and supposed spirits, they built this magnificent property. And it's even said that there's a touch of life in the old building now. But that's just silly. Who ever heard of a living house? But please, follow me. We actually have a late meal prepared for you all because you've obviously been traveling for some time. And he goes to walk in and is hoping you all follow behind him. Moonlight, Riley is completely just disregarded the living house thing, and he's just following behind this gentleman.
I grab him by the back of his collar and I lift him up. Okay, so what the hell is going on?
He's from the death cult, honey. The one that I was a prisoner of. And he was one of the only other boys besides Kahlua and me. And I thought I killed him many years ago.
Okay, say no more. So, I hate him?
He did things to me.
Okay, I especially hate him now. So, you know what? Let's play this smart, just for a little bit. And then I will most definitely punch him in the dick just for you. I give Riley a smooch and I put him back down.
He hugs you and he starts to walk in the direction of the door again. Does everyone else go inside the building?
I'm going to actually take some pictures around the front of the house from like different angles before I go in.
Very important question though. Is this a regular film camera or is this a Polaroid?
It's a Polaroid. I'm old school.
Okay, that was the reason why I asked. And as you start to shake your camera, I'm going to have you roll for me a D20. I need you to roll a D20 because this is going to be a D3 intellect roll because you're going to see something quite jarring in the pictures.
17.
Okay, it ain't shit. It doesn't bother you. You have steel. You have shit in your... Because as you take these pictures, the corners of the porch start to shift and move like in a smile, as if that house was smiling picture.
Excellent.
And then you also notice too that the roof kind of shifted around like eyebrow, where the supercilious is for face, the roof portion actually kind of shifted a little bit, and just to kind of do like a really hammy smile kiss picture, as what people in the 2000s would call a duck face. That's what the house did in the picture, and the roof and everything shifted back. And like I said, you have nerves of steel. This wasn't jarring. And you just pocket these pictures for later. Is there anything else you would like to do before following in, or anything else?
Is there like a porch railing or something?
Yes.
I'm going to pat it 3 times before I enter.
Maury, you hear what sounds, so you know those basement doors that are usually on the very large ones? You can hear those large doors opening up on the left side of the house. Do you follow that noise?
Yeah.
And it was the basement doors, and there's stairs that lead down. Do you go down these stairs?
Is there any lights or anything?
There's actually a green glow, and it's enough to illuminate everything.
Perfect. I mean, I still have my flashlight and all that stuff, but yeah, I'm going to head on down because this is interesting.
Bob is just shaking in fear as all the Mogwais jumped up into his arms. They look like Shaggy and Scooby. They just all shake as they follow behind you. And as you descend the stairs, the basement doors slowly close down, and the green glow intensifies to compensate for lack of. And we're going to actually hold off before I reveal anything else. Or I will leave you off on that cliffhanger, but you're going to find out until the next session. And now, what about your Retzi? Your Retzi, do you fall behind?
Well, we didn't have her make a thing about her leaving, so she was shoving a bunch of sage in her purse.
What? Okay, so I actually need to ask specifically. Now, when you're saying a bunch of sage, are you just doing the same type of bundles of sage, or did you have different kinds, like having white sage or sage that has gems that have been, sewn in the middle?
Oh, well, her grandmother was a very superstitious person, so she has all kinds.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. I'm going to say you have 5 sage bundles, and each one is specifically targets for different kinds of things for saging. And you are just thanking your grandmother for being so superstitious, and because of you setting this up, and just for your Retzi being, superstitious, I'm going to ask you to give me a difficulty 3 roll real quick. You gotta beat a 9.
Is it for intelligence?
Yes.
That is a 19.
You people and your nerves of steel. So as you gaze upon the house, just like with Maury, the house responds gazing back at you. You can see the porch, everything, semblance of face. And as you look, it's as if the porch is mouthing the Anna Miki. And you know specifically that Anashe Nabe nature spirit. And when you receive this, you get the feeling then that there is no malice attached to this house, but at the same time, you need to pay the proper respects then, because you know what the spirit is that's attached. Does Yoretzi make sure to pay the respects?
Yes.
The house responds in kind, and you feel very well. During our next session, I will allow you to roll for information, and if you make your roll, I will allow you to ask 3 questions related to your situation, because you made this roll so high, and it helps you decipher that this is not a malicious spirit or ghost that are attached to this house. But now the ultimate question is, how is this house animated? You have a piece of the puzzle. There was a nature spirit that is a piece of the puzzle. Answer everything. Because if the spirit was attached to the house, it would just be, attached to the land and such. They don't animate non-animate objects. So this is something really different. How does Yoretzi feel knowing this?
I think she'd be a little bit upset that whatever is going on with the house is also probably messing with the spirit.
Exactly. Yes, that is actually what's going on. So you get upset because you have definitely an inkling that this spirit is being forced and is stuck, and this isn't good. And you go inside. And then, last but not least, Scruffy,
Yeah.
as you've been looking at the house, what have you been up to? Because to you, everything's just fine.
Yeah, everything's just fine. I've been walking through. I haven't seen nothing wrong. Looks like a cozy little place to stay. In fact, I thought for a moment I thought I heard something coming out of a bathroom. Maybe it sounded like some water was running or something, or dripping. I opened the door though, and everything looked fine except there was a little bit of a leak. I fixed that right away. Can't have that happening.
As you are just going around, just fixing odds and ends, literally the animated house is just. You know what? I thought I was the one that just made lots of questions, but you know what? This is fine. I've been needing some good maintenance, so I'm okay with this. And you
Does the house actually enjoy it?
Yes, the house is actually
It's
happy with this.
it's just vibing at this point. Nice.
Exactly. And as you all finally make it into the house, I said, Sticky Joe, Bethany had actually, well, it's them. It's as if they were like kids with ADHD and saw a butterfly and were like, "Hey, what's that?" Because like they were just looking at the house, and then the house entranced them and opened up a door that was not there for anyone else that saw, and they wound up in another portion of the house. And each one of them are going through experiences of their own, because now Bethany just hears the tapping, grinding, cutting of what sounds very large knife or blades rub against the wall. Everything just feels like she's stepped into a nightmare. Sticky Joe, well, even though for Sticky Joe he feels like he's walked into a just infinite blackness, he's Sticky Joe. He's just moving on with it because he pocket, make sure he's got his duct tape, and he keeps moving. And then just hearing constantly something return it, and free and verse. But Sticky Joe just thinks it's gas. Like how someone farting would translate to a spooky voice saying return something. But Sticky Joe, so he keeps moving on. And then we return back to Uretzi, Moonlight, Riley, Inku. Inku is leading you on. He takes you to dining, massive king style table. Those really massive halls, lots of seats around it. And you just see this elaborate buffet, just an assortment of all just different kinds of dishes. There's breakfast food, lunch food, dinner foods, cakes, pies, just sort of different dishes. Now, don't worry. If you're suspicious, this wasn't just prepared for you. This is also for the gentlemen who will be waking up anytime soon. They're going to be hungry, and they all different kinds of taste and appetite. So, but please help yourselves to what is here. And he stops for a second, looks and goes, "Now, I must go deal with a little issue. Feels some of the pipes in the house might be malfunctioning, so I'm going to go take a look." And as you all look at the food from the table, Uretzi, you're looking around, and in this dining hall, as you look up at the walls, you see to Riley and Moonlight, it looks like a very odd, strange sculpture, as if it's an entity made of twigs and vines, such, literally fused with the wall. And Uretzi, you know what that is. That's the nature spirit. And as you all just gaze upon this vast feast, this elaborate meal, I will ask one last thing of you three. Moonlight, do you eat any of the food?
Do I get any feelings or suspicions, or do I smell anything that would be off?
Roll me a intellect level a 4, so you have to beat a 12.
I got a 1. So
Nope.
I'm just going full Goku, and I'm just porking down on everything.
And Riley sees you doing this. You know what? He trusts you more than anything else. Joins you eating all of the yummy looking food. And last but not least, Uretzi. Do you eat the food?
Yeah, she doesn't even want to poke at it.
You don't like it. You don't like this. It's something is very off. Something seems very wrong, because even though there's this vast gargantuan meal and you don't hear the sound of people cooking in the kitchen, where did this food come from? And as we approach the last thing that's going to happen in the session, Moonlight going to town, they finally look back up at that sculpture again, and now it has a very different look because they see what Yoretzi. They see a individual who's got portions of their muscle of their body, chunks of it just been ripped away from their body, and they're just weakly just twitching, forever twitching, because the food you just ate was made of the body. And that's where we're going to leave off on this session. Now,
You monster.
so we will find out if the players will be able to figure out what is all going on with this house. How does the pit link together with everything? How did this house become animated? And most important of all, who all is involved in knowing? So this is, and of course they will have to deal with multiple different branches of the mafia from all over the world, because there is a massive mafia summit going on. And then, of course, the wolf dog turned Nathan. This is going to be a very interesting point that we shall be going forward with now, guys. So until the next one, everyone, goodbye.